to Yarkshire Gamer, and it's December 2023's monthly Wargames update. All the usual features for us to go through. Been quite productive in the paint room, and the Analog Hobbies Winter Paint Challenge has begun, so I'm expecting to continue with the productivity for the next few months or so. So let's have a look what we've painted. So the first unit is a unit of 24 Garabaldi 28mm Gringo 40 figures, and regular viewers will have seen lots of these over the years. And I'm coming to the end of the Garibaldi project now, as we'll talk about during the course of this video. And this is one of two regular red shirt infantry units that I have completed during the course of the month. And I shall bring one of these guys up to the camera and zoom in a little bit more. And as you can see, it's the usual 6 figures on a 60 by 60 basis with the extended frontage to protect the muskets. Done this as quite a plain unit. There's no facing markings on, and plain grey trousers. It was an excuse to try a hell grau, a light grey colour I'd got from AK Interactive, and done as a firing line with a few loading figures in the rear, and then front we've got a whole line of firing figures with 3 command in the back. So that's the first one. So here's the second unit of Garibaldi I've completed this month. Again, 24 figures, which is my standard unit size. They represent around 300 to 350 men, so fairly low figure ratio, 12 to 1, 15 to 1 kind of thing. But I like that impact of, 24 figures for me is probably the smallest unit I'm going to do in 28mm, unless there's a very specific reason for doing it smaller, which we'll see very shortly. This one is a charging unit, and you can see I've done these with a dark sort of mid-blue trouser and with a red stripe down the side, and we'll bring up one of the bases to the camera as we did on the previous one, just so you can see that. And I found an illustration of a Garibaldi soldier dressed exactly like this. I've also put green collars on these and green piping around the cuffs, which is exactly what the picture was. So rather than mix up the trousers within a unit, because Garibaldi's troops literally turned up in what they were wearing, I've used them, as I've said before on here, as an identifier for the battalion, so that I put these away. There's 20 units of these when I'm done. It will be a lot easier to do if they're identifiable easier by a trouser colour, etc., so that we know they're all from the same unit. So that's the second full Garibaldi unit I've done. In addition to those guys, I've completely finished now the French and Papal forces, and this is the last 6 French infantry in skirmish order. Just 6 figures, and this goes with a unit of 24 to make a 30-man unit. And if you haven't seen it, I've done a painting tutorial on how I've done these guys. I had to do it with these because it's the last 6 figures I've got left, and although I've enjoyed doing the French very much, I've got no plans at the moment to do anything more than the 5 battalions and the bit of cavalry you're going to see in a second. Maybe in the future I'll expand it to a bigger Franco-Prussian war army, but at the moment it's done. So, and there will be a Troops on Parade video of that coming up with the entire army. So let's just slide in another unit I've finished. Been busy boy this month, and there's one more to go after this, would you believe? And this is a unit of, or the unit of French Chasseurs à Cheval for Montana. These are Perry miniatures, Franco-Prussian War metal figures, and there were only 50 or 60 men in this unit, so this is a ratio of 1 to 10, and I normally wouldn't bother with units this small, but I wanted to use the cavalry. It's quite rare on the Mentana battlefield, so I decided to go and have this small unit, and come out really nice. Very happy with those. Very restricted with what's available for the Perrys at the moment, the Franco-Prussian War range. They don't seem to be releasing stuff very quickly for it, and it's left me very restricted for things like command bases, etc., that you'll have seen on previous videos if you've watched them. So I'll clear these away, and then, because I've just literally put the varnish on the 5th unit I've done this month. Here's the final unit I've done this month, and literally just varnished it this morning. It's ready to go up on the Analog Winter Paint Hobbies Winter Paint Challenge. It's my 2nd unit for the challenge. The one behind is one I've already put in and scored, and these again are Gringo 40 figures that actually Piedmontese. I think I bought these a while back, but I bought them for the uniform, and this is a unit called the Wolf Company, and my word, if you see Wolf Company, you're going to have them, aren't you? Regardless of how they're used. They wore a couple of uniforms during the course of the Risorgimento, and this one they liberated. Should we say liberated? Yeah, let's say liberated from a warehouse in southern Italy. So there were only a couple of hundred of them. They were deserters from the Bourbon army who fought for Garibaldi, and like to help themselves to uniforms on occasion, and a little conjecture here and there with this uniform. Very scant details on what they actually wore, but it's the joy of this project is that I have gone and done things in the way that I wanted to. So I'll zoom in on one of the figures. The unit's based in skirmish order, 60 by 32 figures per base, and they've got kind of like a long greatcoat overcoat, which is a dark blue grey, green facings, and then they've got this interesting forage cap, which is a blue lower, red top, and blue and red piping with a green I was going to say dangly bit, then green tassel on, and they've painted it really nice. I really like the look of this, something very, very different as a unit. The backs of them are nice and detailed as well, so it's going to be something a little bit different on the tabletop. By the time of Mentana, this uniform would have gone, but as I've said before, I don't think anyone's got, or very few people will have a Garibaldi army the size of mine in 28mm, and I'm picking and choosing units from all over the conflict so I can use it in many different areas, right from the Milia, the 1000 in Sicily, all the way up to Mentana in 1867 and in between. So that's the units I've painted this month. I've been a busy boy. So here we have the current Twerk in progress, and there's not a lot of progress done on it. As you heard, the last unit was just literally sprayed with varnish. So all I've done with these is I have got a very basic coat of red on them, and this is, as you can probably tell, another unit of red shirt Garibaldis. In fact, this will be the last one. This is number 12 of the red shirts. So I've got 12 red shirts, 4 white shirts, which are the Dun and the Milan brigades, and then 4 mixed units that we're going to come together over hopefully the next month. So they're underway, another 24 figures. Shouldn't take me too long, those do. I can knock through those now, and if I remember, I'll try and do a tutorial on those, as again these are the last ones that I'm going to be doing. So I thought, as I've finished already, I would use this time to just quickly go through the prep for the Analog Hobbies Winter Paint Challenge. So you're allowed to put your minis together and put a base coat on them, or a primer on them. So that's what I've done, and I've got together, in fact there's one still downstairs in the cellar where it's being sprayed, and these are simply 28mm Perry's ACW figures, that I have made up, and I am going to use these as 4 units, or sorry, yeah, 4 units of Garabaldi in kind of different uniforms than the red shirts. So it just enables me to distinguish them from the red shirts, other than by uniform type, by figure type as well. And they're a bit cheaper. So these are all plastic 28mm Perry's box set ACW made up. Unit of 24 in there. Then I've got another unit of 24 in there. I've done one as a firing line, one marching and one advancing. And then the spare figures that I've had left from all the work I've done, there's not that many in there to be fair, they're going to go together as a skirmish unit. I'll put those together on skirmish basis. The one thing I'm short of with Garibaldi is skirmish stuff, so these spare figures are not going to go amiss. They're all going to go on to a 60 by 30 and get made up nicely. So as well, for the Garibaldi, the final unit I've got to do is this one. And as you can see, I've already done the horses for this some time ago, and it's just 6 figures, plastic ACW Perry's Cavalry, and they are going to be the Garibaldi guides. Again, 50 or 60 men, 6 figures, that'll do nicely. And then I've got loads of stuff lying around, but specifically for the challenge, I've also prepped up these guys, and in there are the last 24 Italian heavy cavalry that I need for the Italian wars. That'll give me a nice box full. I think there'll be 96 or could be 112, not sure, but there's 100-ish. And then also in here I've got some Spanish heavy cavalry for the Italian wars. I think there's a couple of units in there. So the idea for the Analog Hobbies Winter Paint Challenge for me this year is to finish the Mentana project completely, finish the Italian cavalry, and then, if I've got time, crack on with some of the Spanish which are hanging around. I did a Colgunella at the end of the last challenge, but never did any more than that. So that's going to be me for the Analog Hobbies Paint Challenge. So let's have a look at what we've spent money on. How much? How much? Not that much this month, to be fair. I have bought a couple of these. Now these are, I'm not getting into Border Reavers, even though my mate Ian was on the Christmas brews in the Vineyard. These, would you believe, are going to be turned into a Italian castle, and you need a bit of imagination at this moment in time to work that out. But there's one I've already built, so I bought 2, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down the side of this so it's a lot lower, put a pan-tile roof on it, and then glue all these bloody things together, because I'm not going to be faffing about putting single figures in. Then put these 2 side by side and put little towers on the corner, and slap it all in modelling clay and sand and paint it up, so you can't really tell that it's a Bastel house. But I've had nothing else that I've found that is anywhere near what I want for the walls of Mentana. So if you've seen the picture, if I remember, I'll put it in at the end of this little bit. I'm trying to build a small castle, which then goes into a kind of a medieval castle that kind of then goes into a more Renaissance style castle. So wish me luck. Hopefully we'll have that done for next month. We'll see how we go. On top of those, the only other thing I've bought is the bits for the castle, and I believe that these are now no longer available, or they're no longer manufactured. I managed to pick these up from North Star Games. So I've got a tabletop workshop round fortified tower, which is obviously the corner piece, and then I've bought 3 of these standard fortified wall sections. Now, I only needed 2, and my finger must have slipped when I ordered them, but I've got 3, and I've put them together already. So here is the tower. Very, very nice. Again, it comes in sections, which I'm going to glue together because I'm not the level of gaming I do. It's not guys running up towers, having duels. This is in the background, so this is going to get all painted up nicely, and then might do a review of these, I don't know. This is one of the wall sections, and again, this all comes off in bits. Now, there's enough in one of the boxes to make an extra level, but it's going to be too high for me, so I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with that, but let me show you kind of where I'm going with the castle. So I've dropped the picture in there of what I'm trying to build, or what I'm trying to make it look like. It's never going to be 100% accurate, but this is what I'm planning on doing. Raised section of MDF with sculpted terrain underneath. Then this bad boy in the corner, which is the tower you can see, or very similar to the tower that you can see in the picture we've just looked at. One castle line going off that way, castle line there, and then into this double bastel house, which is going to be cut down and made into, joined together with another one and made into an Italian castle, with corners. I've saved some roll from me Christmas wrapping that will make perfect little corner towers. I hope it's going to look all right. I'm pretty sure it will, and it's kind of my imagination, but it's the best I'm going to ever be able to do. I'm not Joe the Wargamer. I am not Duncan Two Thin Coats, whatever his second name is, Rhodes. I am Ken the Yorkshire Gamer, one fat slap of paint, Riley. Get it done. Stop mucking about. So let's see what I can do with this over the coming month. Scores on the doors for the month are steady away. Facebook up 27, nearly 2,400. Twitter's 2848, holding up even though a number of people have left, which is a real shame because I still think it's a fantastic platform. And the one with the most war gamers on, so please don't leave. Ignore the rubbish that goes on there. Instagram up 2, bubble burst there a long time ago, but I still enjoy posting on there. Lots of quick visual hits on there if you're looking for stuff. YouTube up 45. If you don't follow me, please do. Get a few more watches in, a few more people interested in Yorkshire Gamer and what goes on here. It's all free, remember. Podcast up 7 to 336, steady away as ever. Podcasts are hitting 3,000 regularly now, so 336 is a small amount on Podbean. But if you do listen, please give us a follow, leave a review. I spoke about this with the Two Fat Lardies on episode 50. It would be lovely to have more interaction with the audience. I love it when I get comments and feedback, and I hope that it gives you enjoyment listening to them, but it's lovely to hear from you when that is the case, and also it helps to increase the profile of the podcast. So if you have time, please do. If you don't, no worries. Facebook group up 12 this month. Big jump for the World Cup of War Games rules, and that's evened off now. Podcasts, I've had 3 big podcasts out in a row. I've had Dave Brown, I've had the Lardies World Cup special, and the Christmas Brews in the Bin Yard. So that's 6,751 downloads this month already. And then finally Blue Sky up 22. So that's the scores of the doors. I'll have a quick run through now on what's going on the Yorkshire Gamer channels and podcasts, etc. As I say, it's been a fairly busy month this month, and I managed to get a painting tutorial out, something I've not done for a while. And this one's on the French Franco-Prussian War infantry that I've been building up over the last few months. And I managed to get this done with the last 6 figures I had, which was lucky because I nearly ran out. On the podcast front, episode 50 came out at the start of the month with Two Fat Lardies, where we had a good laugh about their World Cup win with their rules chain of command. And as you would expect, me, Nick and Rich had a healthy discussion about many things wargaming. And then talking of healthy discussions, this certainly isn't one. Christmas Brews in the Binyard is out, and that's out on both YouTube and Podbean. Unfortunately, Sean wasn't available, but Ian McDonald from Flags of War stepped in, did a cracking job, did the lad, and we had loads of fun recording the episode. So there we go. What a wonderful month it's been. Lots going on in the Wargames room. Lots of production. Feeling the painting mojo back for the Analog Hobbies Winter Paint Challenge, which is bloody good because I needed it. And cracking through 5 units this month. I hope to get plenty done for next month as well. So tune in next month and we'll see what I manage to do. Just leaves me to wish you all Merry Christmas, which is already over, but I'm sure there's still mince pies left around the house, and a Happy New Year. And I hope all your wargaming dreams come true next year. And I shall be at a number of shows. I'm definitely confirmed for York and Salute. Hope to go to one of the Partisans as well. Maybe Claymore, and definitely Fiasco at the end of the year. So come up and talk, come up and have a chat, and see what's going on and see what I'm doing at those shows. I'll be doing Mentana at most of the shows, but I've been asked to do a naval game at Salute. So Jutland will be coming out of the shed, get the big guns out, and we'll be doing a massive game of Jutland at Salute. So hopefully I'll see you next month for the update. Until then, see you.